So when you're training the next generation of home inspectors, first impressions matter, right? So this app was built by custom home builders, professional home inspectors, lawyers, some of the biggest firms across North America, people who have actually been in the trenches. So the learning curve is very short, but the standards are super high. Now, I run a firm of 72 home inspectors across North America, and I really needed a way to keep the batter consistent, that wash, rinse, repeat cycle of gathering information and delivering reports to our end users so that they'd actually use them and read them to the way they digest it. We've done studies on this. So I've tried everything under the sun, from Spectora to HIP to HomeGauge, with you name it. But they all have their strengths and, they have their weaknesses. And so that's why we're here today. So let's dive right in. The goal is to show you how to build faster, smarter reports and reduce liabilities. So we'll call this step 2, I guess, getting around the app. Now, like any other app on the planet, there's a home button. At the bottom left, you can see it right there. This is where all the reports are for the day. So sometimes I'm doing 2, 3, 4 inspections a day. Right beside that, you're going to see your archives. So the archives is like your vault of past reports where you store everything. It's all searchable, editable, you name it. So as you can see up there, here's from the week, and I'll just press on any one of them. And inside of them is your metadata. So you can look at the date, the time, the type of template, who did the actual inspection, etc. Plus, QR code, send now, etc. Okay, let's go back out of that crap. Jump over the plus button for a second. Let's go to the library. So in the library, you're going to see templates, components, pictograms. That's all your diagrams. It's all fully customizable. You can duplicate till your heart is content. And also, there is 7,200 individual unique components that have predictive issues, actions, summary to everything. Let me give you an example. So I'm going to scroll through here real quick. And one of you guys should tell me when to stop, but I can't hear you. I'll stop here. So air conditioner. What do we got here? We got report statements, 3 of them. We got predictive issues, actions, locations, trades that might fix this, non-inspected reasons. Summary notes are really just urgencies or consequences. Plus search tags, so you can throw a little Easter egg in there every once in a blue moon. Like I have Kim Kardashian for toilet. Anyway, nonetheless. Let's go back out of here and let's jump over to profile. So we got profile. This is where all your personal information is housed, just like on any other app. This is where you're going to want to put a professional photo in. You're going to put your license number in. Don't forget, when you're starting up the app, you got to put in your signature field so you can choose a signature that you want that's suiting to your business. Now, going over to the business, you can see where you can put in your logos for all your reports. Pretty easy. Team now. As you can see, this is my team, but if I wanted to add somebody to the team or delete, you put in the name, you put in the phone number, you send the invitation, and now they're part of your enterprise. So it's kind of like Big Brother a little bit, but you're scaling in a way. This is how you scale your company and grow your business. Let's move on to creating a report. So you see that big plus button right there? Hit the plus button. You press OK. Make sure you got enough juice if you're doing 2 or 3 of these a day. These are the templates that I made, some of my colleagues made, but these are the templates that come with the app. There's about 37 of them, from frame check, pool check, condo, regular old house, trek for Texas, the U.S. consulate. There's so much in here. I don't want to go over it all. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to use a report that we already have in use. So let's go back to the homes. Oh, actually, you know what we're going to talk about real quick is the top right-hand corner. You see that little question mark? Let's hit that question mark for a second. There is a cheat sheet. You have video guides, demo reports, and how things should look. And when you're growing a company, you got to train people, right? Or when you're starting out with this app, we have a simulation package so you can do it a bunch of home inspections from the comfort of your home bed while you're watching Netflix. We also have a bunch of other information like chronological watch list. Like, let's just click on that for a second. So if you're in a house and it's the 70s and you're like, oh, I wonder what's in here. Well, aluminum wiring maybe from 70 to 76, or like 80, 98, poly B, or 2000, 2007. It's all in here. So just, one more thing. See the bottom there? That's called Hootie. Bottom right-hand corner. Click on that. It's your personal assistant that doesn't argue with you. So it's there to help you out in a pinch when you're having a brain fart. So you can ask it, like, what's that salty stuff on the concrete? And it'll say, well, it's effervescence, kind sir. It's AI. If you're not doing AI, then you're probably getting left behind. Also up there beside that question mark is a little money symbol. You guys can guess what that is. That's how you collect money. 2.8%, no fees, no trickery, no nothing. It's powered by and backed by Clover, one of the biggest payment processors in the world. just because I know the guy. Okay, so let's move on to the front cover. Building the report, page by page, we'll call it. Front cover is pretty easy. Let's go into the report. So that report there, all I got to do is hit the front cover, and you guys can see that. Top left-hand corner, I'm going to click on that bad boy. I'm not going outside, of course. I'm going to hit the gallery. I'm going to put in a picture of the house. And I'm not going to do these drop-downs. You guys know what this is all about. Hit the check mark. Done. You can add some more stuff if you really want to, but let's keep moving on. The map. Elements. So it's visual data, and people love it. They want to know about the parks and the playgrounds and the coffee houses around where they're buying their homes. Trust me, just do it, or put in a nice photo of something. But really, you're just going in there and hitting a bunch of drop downs, which I'm not going to explain. If you don't know how to do drop downs, this app's probably not for you, but there's not that many. Anyway, next page. The method. So think about this as your appetizer for before your meal. You're briefly describing how you're doing the inspections, your approach, and what's included, and you're setting the expectations essentially and reinforcing your professionalism. The next page is table of contents. I don't think I need to explain this to anyone unless you don't read. Pretty easy. I will tell you that if you take out a section, it'll just automatically update. We're not going to spend any time on that. The thank you page is next. So remember, you're the face of this business. You're the business card. So make sure it's a good one. Disclaimer stuff, the boring stuff. We look no further than Apple, Android, and every other major firm out there. We cut through the noise and we get to the point. So we placed all the legal mumbo jumbo in one clear section, avoiding all the clutter the report has by putting it here. Our end user really likes it. Our agents really like it. The banks, and it's the right thing to do. Apple does it, okay? So also we have the agreements as a firewall, and some of the fluff as a firewall, and the insurance. God, there's so much firewall protection in this. We'll get to that at a later date. Let's go to the next page. Hey guys, I just wanted to pause it right there. I forgot to hit the logo button so I could show you exactly what this looks like. This is the InterNACHI Standards of Practice and so much more to cover your butt. Let's go to the next page. Icons and legends. Made it pretty simple, okay? So no more red light and sirens. We use the color orange. Why? I kind of stole it from Home Depot. So they did a huge study on why orange. Why orange? Well, it means trust. Solid orange is immediate attention. The hollow orange, it just says needs attention. So it's designed to be calm, clear, and non-alarming so our clients aren't reading through these negative reports, pulling their hair out. So it does get the point across. And it's only two things to remember. The summary, we'll get back to that a little bit later on, but I want to jump right into how to get this thing, how to use this thing. So as you can see, if you could pretend with me for a second, I did my baseline in the roof. Got that done. There's a little disclaimer fluff in there as well. I did my drone on top of that because I can get this done systematically, procedurally, step by step in a very efficient manner, hour and a half plus. Next is another fluff page, but let's keep going through as you guys can see. But hey, I don't want to do the scroll anymore. So ergonomics, right? Bottom right-hand corner. I don't know if you guys can see that. I've got a menu button. I hit the menu button, and let's go to the bathroom because we all know what a toilet is. So as you can see, I did my GFCI test, my HRV, bathroom, shower head, tub filler, tub, hair catcher, drain, whatever you want to call it. So let's start out, and let's see how I actually gather information. So let's start with the faucet. I'm going to click on that bad boy, and close-up photos, guys, because it's the shit in the background that's going to burn you, right? So what does it say? It says, give it a rating below. So I got a thumbs up option, attention option, thumbs down option, and a not inspect option. So I'm just going to say this is good to go. 80% of the stuff we see is pretty much satisfactory. So I'm going to give that a thumbs up. The next one's going to be the aerator. Why? Because I want to tell a better story. That's why. Give it a thumbs up. I'm going to go to the sink drain there. No, none of my wife's hair in there. That shit makes me rich. Give that a thumbs up. I'll give it a, let's go to the P-trap. Give it our little photo, thumbs up. But now we're going to get to something that every single house we get into, there's a toilet that's wobbly. So I'm going to hit that toilet, take a picture of that toilet. Let's see. All right, it's wobbly, I said, right? So my hyper-alarmist, am I going to hit thumbs down? No. Not inspecting? No. Thumbs up? No. So I'm going to hit attention. And what happens? The modal, which we call the Moodle. That's the way we remember it pops up. Now, I could hand bomb it in, type it in, do whatever I want, or I could hit that little drop down. Is it in here? Yeah, it says unstable. And on top of that, I think what I'm going to do is put a little added unsecure. Good. What's the action? Let's do repair, replace. Nah, let's do further evaluate or maintenance required or something like that. And let's put something in, I don't know, something in the summary statement. So see how I drop that down? It's built for speed. Next photo we're going to take is proof of operation. Trust me, you want it. Takes 2 seconds. Give it a thumbs up. And hey, let's get the back of the tank as well. Why not? How long did that take? Like 30 seconds to get a baseline? Not even? That's a bad picture. I'm going to take that again. I'm very finicky about the way I take photography. I want it clean. So there we go. That's done. Now that we've done the baseline, we're on to extras. Okay. So just think about it like this. It took me a while to explain to some of the guys. I'm like, on the left-hand side, I want the known component. On the right-hand side, I want support photography, right? Tells a better story. So it really clicked with some of the guys when I said the left-hand side is going to be Batman. Okay. The right-hand side is going to be Robin's lead actor, supporting actor. Okay, so let's just say this is for the anomalies inside of a bathroom. I got these cue cards here for you. All right, so what's something that we don't see on the regular in a bathroom? A bidet. Okay, I've staged this, obviously. So I'm going to hit this guy. I'm going to hit known component. I'm going to say bidet. Did that work? Yeah, that worked. So got the bidet. I'm going to click on that. What's wrong with that bidet, guys? Looks like it's leaking to me. So I'm going to give that, I should probably give that a thumbs down. So I'm going to say active leak. And then I'm going to do the action. I'm going to do further evaluate or repair, whatever. Let's go like that. Now, I could put location in. I could put tradesperson in. I could put nominal value. Don't do nominal value. That's for commercial, okay? So I'm just going to hit the check mark. And now what do I put next to it? I can put in a support photo. So let's hit support photo. And I'm just going to get close up, and I'm going to really tell a better story. That's it, right? From a different vantage point. It's good for court too, by the way. So if you're with an older couple and, nobody reads anymore, they just skim. You know what people want? We did it was like 2,000 person study. They want the component name. They want a definition of it, essentially. They want the issue. They want the action. And then they want some urgency, man, or consequences, and or location, and or trade. That's it. They don't want to read big paragraphs about why it's leaking, this and that. Get to the point. That's the world we live in, and it's not changing anytime soon. So real quickly, you guys can see that let's pretend we have an old person with us, and they're not going to read any of this any which way. So I really want to draw attention to it. So instead of taking that support photo, first of all, I'm going to delete that. Long hold, delete. I did that little speed bump so you guys can't blame me for stuff getting lost. We don't lose pictures on this app or crash. So I'm going to hit the plus button this time instead and just do support pictogram. And I'll say leak. Tells a better story, doesn't it? So you can see there we got a problem. The bidet is leaking. Draws your attention with the pictogram. Just tells a better story. So let's do another one. What's in a bathroom? Tile floor. Tile floor. There we go. Click on that bad boy. This one's got a bit of a crack on it. You can see that. Clink. I'm going to give that a attention rating. I'll do the issue. What is it? I already know it's cracked. See? The action is repair, replace. Summary note. Don't really need one. Swipe down. I'm just going to hit that support photo right away. Get up nice and close to it. Good. Done. All right. So it's as simple as that. I have a few more that I could do, but I don't want to bore you guys with this. Okay, so just do me a favor and don't leave those blank. Just tell a better story. I don't care if it's a towel bar or a toilet paper holder or like a mirror or something. Even if it's good, just tell a better story. It's in a world of negativity. You can put some positive in there any which way. So, what are we moving on to? Oh, I got a question for everybody on here. Let's just pretend for a second that there was 100 of us. And we have a steam room, all right? What are the chances of all 100 of us doing the steam room inspection the exact same way? Not very high, is it? So let me show you how we do that here. You press the edit button. If it'll load up for me. Maybe I got bad Wi-Fi right now. Hold on a second. You don't need Wi-Fi. There we go. So let's go down to the bathroom. And then I'm going to go, see that plus button at the top? Hit that plus button. These are the extra photos that are clean. There's nothing on them. These are pre-built pages there, as you can see. So I'm going to go to the bathroom, and I'm going to see, steam shower. What does that look like? I'm going to move that guy up here, maybe. Let's do that. Press X. Now, wait a second. You want wash, rinse, repeat, and everything. That's the key to success, right? So Let me show you that. That's McDonald's, right? Lettuce, patty, tomato, pickles, onions, ketchup. That's what you do. So I'm going to hit this little menu button, go back down to the bathroom. What does that steam room look like? Boom. Steam generator, on and off, improving operation. The steam nozzle, and an overview of the steam. You put in extras if you'd like to, but this does the trick. All right, so I think I've beat a dead horse here. Let's move down to, we went over extras. That's good enough for me. Let's go to the insurance. Bottom right-hand corner, you can see there's a menu. Let's go to the insurance. All right, so your client's going to love you for this. Your agents are going to really love you for this because it stops the phone from ringing asking, do I have PEX or do I have copper? It's all right here, and it takes about 4 minutes max to drop out. So you click on that bad boy. What build year is this? We'll call it 2020. What's the outdoor temperature? 10. Faces south. Vacancy, I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go right now. So it's staged. So now when you're done, boom, you've got your insurance details for your client so they can get the proper insurance, and they will thank you for it. And they'll probably even leave you a nice review, which is my next page, 72 seconds. If you don't ask, you don't get. If you do a great job and you got a little bit of showmanship and you do some education and you produce a sick report, chances are pretty high that people are going to talk about it at the water cooler, and even higher when you put a 72-second page in there for somebody to leave a review to wherever you want, whether it's Google or Yelp or what have you. Give them the opportunity to leave you some feedback so you can get more business. Right below that is your contract. I'm not going to bore you guys with this, but it's all customizable. So it varies from state to state, province to province, what needs to be done. As you can see, these need to be initialed where we're at. I'm not going to bother with you guys. This stuff, you can learn about that later. I do want to go over one thing, though. Hustle mode. Clink. This is another way to review if you've got all your photos. You can go through it. And let's just say for a second, let's roll down to bathroom. All right, right here, bathroom. You know, do you guys remember back when I was saying you take a photo? I'm going to take a photo of whatever, something, my hand. Percent something wrong with it, right? I'll give it a thumbs down. See what happened? No modal. So I can just take photos and rock and roll. I don't need to worry about the modals. I'll just hit them later. Give that a thumbs up. Give that a thumbs down. And let's get to the summary real quick here so I can show you what this is all about. Because you can see that I've not put in any issues whatsoever. All right, let's back out of this. Back to the report. But before we go to the summary, I think I should show you one more thing. You see the top right-hand corner where it's got that little person with the plus button? All right, hit that plus guy. Pretend that your buddy Todd Adesme showed up. All right, well, he's now on the report. And say Trent showed up. All right, great. Now let's assign what they're going to be doing. I'm going to assign him to the roof, and I'm going to assign somebody else to the attic, Trent. What does that look like? A lot of people are like, why can't we do the same sections at the same time? And I'm like, why don't we write paragraphs at the same time? Why don't we paint pictures at the same time? It doesn't make any logical sense. So let's see what that looks like. I'll go to the attic first. Attic, boom, not your section. So stay out of my way. You do your job, I'll do my job. And me being the principal, and same with them, we can all see what we're doing live as we're doing these inspections. So I think you guys get that. One more, and let's just go to the summary. We're going to go to the summary. Click on that summary. What does it say? Tap here to generate the summary. Clink. Yep, everyone's done in there. So I'll just hit the immediate attentions and not inspected for shits and giggles. I'm going to hit refresh. Boom. You're done. But remember those ones we were doing in Hustle? It was in the bathroom. See where it says steam generator, steam nozzle, steam shower? Well, it reminds me that I need to fill that out. So let's click on there again. Go down to the bathroom. Where is it? There, the steam gen. So now I can just fill it out. Let's just say it was missing a pan, monitor. No, I wouldn't say that. I'd say repair, replace. Summary notes, boom. Swipe that bad boy down. What else we got here? You know what? I'm not going to show this to you. We're done. So as you can see, it produces a summary for you. Beautiful. It gives you that dopamine. Can't remember what the other stuff is called. Serotonin drip that we all love. So what else can I tell you about? Oh, editing. Let's go back to that for a second. Let's go back to the bathroom. So I made it so that you guys have to go in and out of every section because I'm a bit of a psychopath and OCD about this. So I want you to go in and out of every section so that you'll clean it up and reorg things. So like, I don't want this page 8 up. I'm going to select it. It's gone. I don't want this one either. So I'm going to delete that bad boy. Gone. Maybe I want to move this guy up there because it looks better. No, I don't. I want to put it back down there. It's about how things look, how I started this conversation. I'm going to go back out of there. And let's go to publishing and sharing, I guess. We could do that. All right. This is not difficult. The whole point of this app is so that you do your job, get on site, get your information, put in your issues, put in your actions, summary statements, etc. Go in your truck, polish it off a little bit, send it off, and be done with it. You don't need to be going home and spending hours writing a report that looks like Windows 95. No offense intended. Actually, a little bit. So we're going to keep going through this. Let's see what this all looks like. I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. So what do? How do we send it? Paper airplane, top right-hand corner. Click on that bad boy. And we're going to slide it. It takes a second to compress. So while it's compressing, it shouldn't take too long. Is there anything else I can go over with you guys? Oh, yes. We're going to talk about pulling back the reports, but I don't think I really want to show you that. You have to trust me on that one, or you can call and look a little bit further into on Inspectagram. We can send off a report to a client. They can take that report and say they didn't pay you, or like you needed to make an edit. We can pull it right back from anyone and everyone that they've shared it with. So also, when you're on site and the clients are, actually, I've had a guy here recently, he says, well, I want to use an iPad. And I'm like, why would you do that? The camera sucks and it's too big. And how are you going to shove that into an inducer motor? Well, these cameras are good. And if your clients are with you, I'll just go like this, QR code. Okay, guys, come on around here, get your phones out, take that QR code, and you can look at the report with me. Let's go through the summary together. Let's talk about it. And I'm probably going to pull it back from you a little while to tighten it up, but that's how you presentate, or that's how you give a good presentation to your, presentate, that's not really a good word, is it? So that's how you show your clients what you've done. And you can ask questions. That's important at the end of the day. Also, we can send this report. I'll just send this to my wife maybe. Let's see what we can do. So I can just go, Heather, let's do that. Tanaka, send her a report. Fantastic. Now she has the report, but pretend I wanted to pull it back from her. All I got to do is press report, wait for it to load for 2 seconds. All right. All I got to do is press edit, pull it back. And I'm going to show you what your clients are going to see in 1 second. 1 second here. Whoop. Let's go into the text. Let's go to Heather. I'll click on that again. What does it say? Expired report. It looks like the report you're looking for no longer is available. So that's a way so you don't have reports floating around with 5 different edits to 20 different people, right? It makes a lot of sense. Let's go back into this bad boy. What else do we want to talk about? I think that's it. I'll just give you a quick recap. Okay, so it's better to have a photo and not need it than to need it and not have it, my wife always says, and it's very true. She's a big-time lawyer. So when you take your photos, close-up photos matter because it's the stuff in the background that's going to burn you. Think about macro photography and telling a better story. Baseline is like, again, we talked about that. You got a steering wheel and you got a horn in every car. It's the same thing, right? And extras is like the sunroof and the spoiler. So you get the base, you marry it with some extras because every house is unique, right? It's for the anomalies. Now, you fill out the insurance. That doesn't take too long, about 4 minutes or so people aren't calling you at the end of the day. So you can go for a walk and play with your kids uninterrupted. And then the summary. So it's very clear. Make sure that you don't just hit the drop downs. These are suggestive. You need to put some brain power into it and use your knowledge base and make sure that your grandma could understand what you're writing. I can't stand it when my guys put in loose door, fix it. Well, where? I mean, like, you got to tell people where this bloody thing is. So it takes 2 seconds to say living room closet or what have you. So the last thing I'm going to say is that you can customize these reports up, down, back and forth to your brand, your logo, your layout. Have it your way. I think Burger King says that. So you can do the same thing with our app. All right. So I'm going to go to some of these questions I can see that have been popping up. Give me a second here. I don't think we can show you anything more on here. So I'd love to scroll through this while I'm doing this, right? At least I can show you guys. So what do we got here? We got Mark, Toronto. Have you or your company ever been sued? Well, it's a great question, and no, we have not. We've come close like 3 times, but since 2007, I've been operating, and with our reports that were built by professional home inspectors, builders, like I said earlier, and vetted by some of the biggest law firms, and living with a lawyer, I feel like Thomas Crown. Yeah, we haven't been sued. We've always been covered. So if you follow the processes and the steps and procedures, you're protected, provided you've got the knowledge. All right. So hopefully that answers that question. What's this next one? Alex in Denver. how long does it take for you to do a standard inspection using this app? Well, it depends. 4,000, 5,000, 10,000 square foot house, but I can take a 2,500 square foot house, even plus the basement, we'll say. We show up at 8:30 a.m., or I can by myself, and the inspection should be finished in about 1.5 hours to 2 hours, and that's report done on site and sent, money collected, contract signed, you name it. So I don't want to go home and write reports anymore. I want to go home and live my life. So hopefully that answers that question. Or text me back if you don't have it. Do you have a built-in scheduling system, or do you use ISN? Sam, Australia. Whew. All right. I'm kind of glad you asked this question. It's in the works. We're about 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out max, or at least within the month. It's called Inspectahub. It's pretty cool. We'll be launching scheduling that will have a questionnaire that will trigger off the contract to get signed, dumped into a repository, back into a receipt to our clients, and then hard-coded into a schedule that you can cancel at any time, but it's pretty slick, as slick as this app. Also, it's included with the app because I don't think any app out there should be multi-apps. It should be one app that has everything, okay? So hopefully that answered that question. The next question is, how many inspections can you do per day using Inspectagram? Well, Emily in Chicago, thank you for asking that question. Most solo inspectors here do 2 to 3 comfortably. But I do have a great example. We do a lot of commercial. We did one, and I've told this many times, 10 inspectors, 81,000 square foot, I want to call them bays, units. And we did that starting at, I think it was like 6 a.m., done at, I think it was 4 p.m., report in hand. And we can do more, but I always tell people only 10 at a time. So Team Inspect is the best. Plus, it's kind of a lonely job. I like going and getting A&W and having conversation along the way. If you ask me, Team Inspect is the way of the future. So hopefully that answered that question, about 2 to 3 comfortably. The next question is, not tech savvy. Well, that's too bad. How long will it take me to get comfortable with Inspectagram? Tiago? I don't know if I'm pronunciating your name correctly. In Portugal. Well, welcome. It honestly depends. So if you're young, you seem to get it. It's just built right in. I think some of these kids are AI. Engineers, we had a few come on this morning, some architects, builders. They tend to get it pretty quick, like within an hour. The learning curve is not huge. Actually, I thought when we made this app, I'm like, it has to be easy enough for a drunk guy to use it and still come out looking professional. Really? It should be that simple. Less clicks, get to the point. Now, I have a 72-year-old, a 73-year-old. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Also, my neighbor, he's quite old. He gets it. He's in his 70s. It took him maybe a day. It's just taking pictures, making ratings, and thinking with your brain what verbiage you want to put in there, and then cleaning it up and making it look pretty. So I can't tell you. All I can tell you is that you could probably figure this out watching one big show on Netflix. And don't forget about Hootie, the AI guy. He's going to help you out with any kind of questions, plus the cheat sheet. So hopefully that answers that question. Tiago, sorry. Next question. Can I edit a report after it's been sent? Yeah, we just went through that. Miss Rachel in Atlanta. Absolutely. You just hit edit, pull it back, and if somebody shared it with anybody, like millions of people, it'll just get sucked back from everybody. You don't want to have multiple reports out there with multiple different edits, right? Or if somebody didn't pay you, you could be like, no, I'll just take my report back. So it's kind of a neat feature. It's called Retractagram, actually. So thank you, Rachel. The next question is, how long are reports stored in the app? Is there a limit? Jack in Seattle. Well, currently all the reports in that repository, you guys can see here, I'll go back to the dashboard. They go back for forever. I want to tell you also one thing that somebody asked me. I don't see the question in here. Every single photo is time and date stamped and location, all that kind of jazz. So if you ever got in trouble in court, it's right in here. I don't understand people that take a million different pictures and just leave it in a repository of the Google Drive. It doesn't make any sense to me. Put it in the report. Tell a better story. Be done with it. So as you can see here, what was the question again? I think I lost track of that. Oh, how long will they be kept? For forever, I guess. Right here. So they're searchable. As you can see, pretty easy. Done. Hopefully that answers that question. Can I download reports for offline use? Yeah, of course. You can download it as a PDF. You can also save it to your desktop, which is kind of cool. I always get my clients to keep the web version of the report on their desktop because this is one of the biggest investments of their lives. It's kind of like something they love referring back to. And if we're keeping front of mind, do you know I haven't spent much of any money at all on marketing since I started this company? It's all about how I present, the experience I give, the great reports, because that's the last leg I got to stand on. The way I interact, people talk about it at the water coolers. So that's how we get a lot of our business, word of mouth and reviews. Next question. We only got time for a little bit more here. If I only want to share one section of the report. Oh, I should have showed you guys that. Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying here. If I only wanted to share one, you guys are going to love this. So let's click on, and this one here. Let's click on that guy. So if I only wanted to share one portion of this report, it's very easy for our end user and for our agents, right? They don't have to screenshot this anymore. So you just got to hit the menu button right there, and you hit share, and you say create share. And then you know how you can remove out all the personal information. It's kind of nice. You see at the top where it says select pages. So I can do the summary and say you only wanted to share the roof and I don't know, the exterior. Let's just do that and then preview. So what did we just do? We made real estate agents' lives a lot easier. Look at that. Beautiful thing. So no more screenshots. And it goes in a nice, tidy, templated email. It's all black and sexy. Hopefully that answers that question. So what's the next one? Is there a chat? Oh, yeah. People keep asking me about chat features. I don't do featureless features, but I will tell you this. Becky in New Orleans, welcome. You know what? Some of the best home inspectors on this team are female, so good on you. We don't exactly have a chat, but we do have some pretty heavy hitters here. So we've got Red Seal, plumbers, master electricians, engineers, we've got astrophysicists. We got a lot of smart people here. So we have a chat group, and it's kind of nice to have advice on. I have a brain fart every once in a blue moon. I don't know what this is, so I just ask on the chat, and we're there to help. So yeah, we have that chat feature, but I'm not going to build it into the app. There's no point. It's like making a feature that we're never going to use, really. So plus WhatsApp is way better. All right, hopefully that helps. How customizable is Inspectagram? Well, I hope that you guys can all see that it's very customizable. Can I make it match my brand? Well, I'll give you a quick example of that real quick here. So I'll just go into the house right here. There's skins. You guys remember ICQ or like those players? Well, I was doing one that was leather just before this. Well, this is wood. It's got different graphics. But I want to put in my brand in there, my logo, which, guys, make sure it's a good logo, something sick, something that people can actually read. I'll go to my collections and I'll go to my logos, and let's make the Starbucks logo of 2020, we'll call it. Boom, done. And maybe I want to put a different logo in right here. Very easy. I'll go into there. I'll go to my collections again. I'll go to my logos, and I don't know. I'm being silly. Let's put in the DeLorean from Back to the Future 2020. Good, because we don't have a flux capacitor. Hit the check mark. We're done. Okay, guys, if I couldn't have fun doing this job, I wouldn't do this job. I'd just stick to building homes, which I still love, but I also like interacting with people. People can see it, and that's why we've got a good business running for us. So let me see if there's any more questions I can answer here. It says, so I can upload my logo and see. Oh, that's kind of what I just did. So I think that's all I got time for questions. Guys, thanks for being on and spending the time going through this with me. As you can see, it's very intuitive, I hope. And if it's not, maybe stick to another program. It was built for a drunk guy, like I said earlier, to be able to come out looking pretty professional. But the real intention here is for the end user. And if you're not thinking about the end user and their experience and how they digest it, you're making a mistake. Thanks, guys.